top 8 of Kingslayer 2K Invitational Tournament. They all, I believe, are leaving with invites to the next one.
Yeah, they're really cool. They gave them little like invite cards, kind of like I believe is it Pokemon or Magic that do that? They give them little cards that they have to present.
So I actually worked on them. Funny enough, the invite cards that we're giving are throwback to a movie for Card Fight Vanguard called Neon Messiah, and they were doing a tournament called the Messiah
Logan,
Scramble.
Peter, can you hand?
So yeah, I got these invite cards made. I do want you guys to check it out. Let me take it out of the sleeve since it has some. Oh no, it's part of that thing. So here are the invite cards right here. Invitationals to the next one. I know it's a little flip. That's because of the camera, and we have check out their socials for Kingslayer cards, as well as the invite and participant ticket,
and also what format it's for.
So it even says what format it is right on the top. It would say
Vanguard Overdress, and then
yes,
I'm
and then
guessing
on the other one just says Vanguard
Premium.
G or Vanguard Premium.
Okay, that's cool.
But we did our part. We made these. They're super cool, super nice. And what's great is that you can put a value on them. I think the back says Kingslayer cards on it right there. You guys can check it out.
You can put a value on them.
Well, for a ticket to come to a tournament and you keep winning, might as well sell them to somebody who wants to play in the game.
You want to make some extra money, go ahead and just continue to win these invitationals.
Exactly. Overall, great invitational cards. I'm going to leave it right here so our head judge can pick them right back up. But we are coming into the final match. Let's actually check out the players that we have. We are going to be a little bit biased today because we have one of our team members. If you don't know, Naru Samurai created a team, that is me, called Team Eclipse. We got one of us commentating today, as well as Nick Larson.
Hello. I'll be here tomorrow too.
We have one of our boys coming in, but we're going to be as unbiased as possible.
As much as we can. Both of these players are really good. Obviously, they wouldn't be in Top Cut for no reason.
Yeah, 100%. Logan's literally tall. I've been telling him to drop a few heights, but, he just chooses not to. We'll be starting very soon.
We are starting now.
And it looks like they did start the match. I don't believe they're putting a timer on top 8, but I will activate one just so that we have an idea, just in case. But we are getting straight into the match. It does look like we said, it's Flagberg versus Flagberg. So some people are worried. They think this is going to be a boring matchup, but I actually think it's kind of interesting of what does a Flagberg do? Does it just bully its way to play the way it's supposed to? Or do you negate the ability of the opposing player playing the same deck as you from doing what they want to do?
I think when it comes to mirror matches, it's always going to be what do you see in your hand versus what is your opponent actually pull. Because obviously I think Logan has play tested this a little bit more than most people have, because he expects Flagberg kind of being the best anti-meta deck in the format. It's literally a grade 4 destroyer deck, so you're going to see either this or you're going to see Barrow. Anything that's anti-meta to a field, that's what Flagberg tends to excel at, is field destroying.
Yep. So we came in, he did card for no pass or over trigger to hit, gets the critical, and fails to deal 2 damage. So now we're getting into Edward's turn over here. Let's check Edward out over here. What's he thinking? What's he planning? And let's see what happens. The most thing is, deciding what to discard. Do you have an order available? And what are you going to add back? It did look like he had 2 choices, but he decided to go to condensation. I actually think condensation is like the go-to. Like, you can't minus, but there's always maybe something better, but may not be as helpful.
Yeah. And I think the mindset for both of these players going in is they want to stay as low damage as possible.
Oh, 100%.
Because as soon as you start going off with Flagberg,
you ain't going to be at 2. You're going to be at 3.
It's either you start guarding all of the rear guards, or you just stay as low damage as you can.
Yep, and it does look like Logan knows exactly what he wants to do. Going straight into Flagberg and directly going into the attack, not giving him much options. So it looks like he's going to keep guarding it. deciding, and first check, second check, another flag where he has that Persona ride guaranteed, but is that what's going to be changing the tides today?
Another thing with it is that obviously going second with Flagbird, you get inlet pulse, obviously, which I'm pretty sure that's what Edward is doing now. He's playing the inlet pulse down, gonna give it 5k. So right now it's still hitting over a 5k guard, which is huge, to be honest. You being able to drop as low shield as you can against this deck.
Yep. Did you talk about one inlet pulse? Because there's now two. This is kind of interesting because you're actually giving the push and you're not using like anything other than your Vanguard. So like you're getting the inlet off because it's a Soul Blast. So he's definitely going to get the cards in hand, and you already know he has the condensation. The worst thing you want to see is the trade of inlets for an inlet to go into damage.
Yep.
And here we go, going with the 13k, swinging to see guard the attack. I mean, he already took 1 point of damage, is this it? And it does look like he decided to take it. Second check, nothing, and taking the 1 point, no trigger. Alright. Now we're going to go in with the last attack.
If this is 31, he gave the 5k to it.
Alrighty. Here we go, taking the 31, getting the heal and healing 1 point of damage. So staying at 2, we're not going to give up just yet. Is that right, Logan? So we're going in. We know he got the Flagbird from the Persona Ride, but does he choose to use it? And yes, he does. Persona Rides the attack, draws an additional card, and now, come on, you got a hand. Here we go, seeing the inlet.
I think this is his comeback turn. He's going to try pushing as much damage as he can, because he's going to want to put him at least at a comfortable spot to where later on he can obviously push a little bit more. So we're doing the same thing here.
The only difference is he has Counter Blast.
I honestly don't. I honestly think this is still a good play. Because
yeah, you guarantee the 3 draws, and then the Twin Drive, as well as the retire that off. It does look like Ed, though, can pull a trigger.
Yeah, but it pretty much just negates Persona Ride, so we're still swinging at base damage.
Yep. And then go with another 23. And then going in with the 4th attack with Vanguard. After this attack is guard. So totally forgot that I need to be putting up damage, because
that would be good.
They were at 0 for a good chunk of time.
So here we are, where I think the big thing going into Edward's next turn is that Logan is not going to have a board that's going to be cleared from Flagbird's effect.
Yeah, so one of his cards will be kind of a beater more than a useful attacker, because there won't be any rear guards for him to target for that. I think what kind of keeps this game going on is how many times they can get condensation, because they're still using a significant amount of inlets, and we already know that this is going to be like the 3rd set of inlets that Logan's gone through, because one's already in drop.
Yep. So we're using a Blitz Order. So
yep, getting a critical all of his Vanguard.
Over
Trigger coming in, pulling the critical and the over trigger, dealing a total of
3 damage.
3 damage, yes. Gets the draw. Second check.
There's
Heal trigger. Heals 1 point.
So he's going to be at 4 at least.
And then we go going
so now
straight
here's
to
a
4.
big thing that Logan's now seen is he's hit 3 separate triggers. He had a draw, a heal, and a crit. That gives Logan a bunch of information that can help him on guarding these next attacks.
Well, here's the biggest thing. He doesn't need to guard these attacks.
He doesn't
He has
need
a
to,
significant hand that he can just regain, because if he takes the hits, he has all the resources he needs, so that the following turn, or even the following 2 turns after this one, he can guard them easily.
We were just talking about the over triggers that seem the most impactful, and the neutral game is definitely the Stoichea. The neutral game is just specifically in Stoichea's favor normally because it's one of every trigger.
It does look like top 8 is very scuffed.
When we say OTs decide games, you never know.
You never know. But yeah, guys, just a reminder, this is King Slayer Cards for anyone new coming in. King Slayer Cards 2K Invitational Series. King Slayer Cards is a shop located in Miami, Florida, hosting events for the Southeast Coast, maybe soon the East Coast. They're working out things and trying to move forward. It's a slowly growing process, and they run amazing qualifier tournaments that some people call glorified locals, which, for me, yes, that's true. But
I mean,
to anyone out coming to these, this is not a glorified local.
I think for it being a glorified local is we have a lot of people who know each other here, and we all know what our decks are all the time, so we pretty much play against everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But it's definitely something that you should keep in mind is that all of us are looking to move forward. I mean, I know Richard wants to expand into Georgia, which we've seen that Georgia's been a huge factor of us wanting to continue to play and expand.
100%. So it does look like we're getting into Logan's turn, and Logan decided to meet him at 4, which actually was a probably good strategy because he has the ability to offensive heal. The only issue that I see here is that I would have just gone to 5.
I don't think I would have went to 5. I think 4 is a comfortable range for this.
Yeah, my issue is just the flag break turn. Like, they can choose to go to 5 before the flag break thing, which was still a bad idea. But, then you can't offensive heal.
I think another thing of it, though, is that you don't, you put him at 5, he's at 4. So, we were talking about being at 5. But you want to be able to guard one attack or comfortably be able to take one instead of guard everything. So here we are. Logan called down the prized trident to be able to swing, and right now it's still hitting because it's going to be 23. Oh, and Edward hits defensive over. I think we're still going to see him. Yeah, we're still going to see Logan attack 4 times, obviously. So, Frankie, I know you were looking at your phone, but
yeah, I saw.
Edward hit defensive over, which kind of shut down Logan's turn. But, I mean, Logan still got the most out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive over is only 1 additional card in hand. The only thing now is the hand size. Did they meet each other? Did that give Edward a good time to keep that hand? And Logan can now start committing more. But, my issue, right, was the difference in overs, right? When the over's more offensive, you have a lot more access to a hand size. Defensive, not. But if it was the first attack, I mean, I could totally see this
So they were counting decks. So Edward's at 10 and Logan's at 12 right now. Which, playing Inlet Pulse, as many Magnolia players have seen, when you get closer to the checking your deck to make sure you're not decking out, it gets very scary, especially since Magnolia had triple drive and then your Inlet Pulse gets to draw you a card. So here we are. Edward's doing what I like to call a casual flag break turn, where he's swinging with the inlet, it's going to restand, and then you're going to swing with the other side and it restands. It does come down to that Edwards hit a lot of triggers on defensive, so I think this is giving Logan all the information he needs whether to guard this turn.
I think the defensive stuff just twice in a row is excessive.
Yeah, but I think you and I have had the conversation. You call this basically like blackjack,
Yes.
where you keep continuously counting your opponent's deck to make sure that you can guard everything.
Yeah.
And
you do the opposite, so your triggers itself would
Yeah.
be the equivalent of 10s or royals.
Yeah. So Logan is now at 5, and he's dropping a lot of cards to guard. Obviously, now
Yes, because we're now on more the basic Flagberg strategy
Yeah.
with the 2 separate rear guard units, being inlets and the right line grade 2.
so now we have a 3-card guard restrict, obviously,
Yes.
and so now Logan made it a 2 to pass.
Going for the first check
Guard
condensation. Second check critical trigger, but no target. All right.
Here we
Now
are.
getting into turn. I do feel like Logan's now getting into that situation where like he's soon going to be past his opponent if he continues, but I think the way around it, because he did take the point of damage, right? And so he met 11 to 10. Then he drew for turn. Persona Road went 9 to 10.
So here we are. We're limiting attackers.
Yeah, but now it's 9 to 8 because he did dry check too, or drew as well. So 7 to 9. So he's still pretty good. He will switch to being lower when he dry checks.
Which is a big draw that he just got.
Yep. So it's 8 to 8 when he dry checks. It's gonna be 6 to 8. Critical, all effects to rear guard. Second check, another fleet. I think this is a 33, 38k attack.
35, I believe, because it's
Oh, it's a 10k. Yes.
Yeah. Persona Ride, 25k from Adamantis, and then the trigger.
Look how huge that hand is.
So that's a restanding heal, so it becomes a 25k shield. Those heal triggers become very, very valuable when it comes to decks like this. So I believe they just checked, and I think Edward actually has 6 cards in deck, so they're matching right now.
They're matching in deck.
Yes. I
Which
do
is
believe
6?
so. Yep. I think it was 7 to
And
6.
Did
And then
Edward
now he
already
drew
draw?
for turn. Yep. So we're spirit bodying. I wonder what we're gonna. Oh, we're playing the inlet. All right. So we're getting to the nitty gritty of our deck out game.
Yeah, he's not gonna attack Vanguard. He has the 4 attacks. He's gonna draw 1 from inlet.
Swinging for 18 here.
Oh, maybe not.
So he kept the boost.
It does look like we are going to go into game 2. It does look like Edward did take game 1. One thing I did not take into account was the hand size. If the hand was not 3 or less, then there was no point in swinging Vanguard. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I don't know. Just thinking about it. My thing is like the ability to like guard the attack, right? Or like I guess the timing of both overs depleted the hand size of one player quicker than the other. And like I was more worried about how deck would be held for the majority. That I totally forgot that slowly but surely Logan's hand size was depleting.
Well, it all him hitting the defensive OT is probably what kept him into the game, obviously. Which being able to hit it on your opponent's first damage is really big.
Oh, yeah. But it looks like they're getting ready, getting set up. We'll get into it once they start writing grade 1 because they're still going in for their hand size. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I feel like this matchup is just kind of rough.
Yeah, because obviously going second is the spot that you want to be at with this deck. Logan has said this time to time whenever we talk about the matchups, because you get so much advantage being able to go second. So I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. So here we are, we're going back into that. Here we are, we see the same game plan. When they swing, make it OT to pass.
Yep, and we are coming in with the Zorga ride lines, being able to get the orders back in hand. You know, that's what's keeping Flagbird afloat right now.
I've seen lists with the actual Flagbird engine, and I just think that it's more for a best of 1 format than it is a best of 3.
Oh, yeah. Going in here, like this matchup, it's more focused on the ability of like survival, like just knowing when to take the hits, knowing when to guard, what gives you more of a hand size. And that's, you know, that's enough to say for like the majority of Overdress. Premium is much different. Premium is more like, how can you affect your opponent on their turn?
I think mirror matches brings out the skill in a player and knowing the matchup.
It depends the mirror match. What if you go on Gravidia versus Gravidia? It's whoever hits a better crit.
No, I mean, you can. The over trigger is a thing, but like in the Gravidia mirror, you're more trying to outplay and outdo your opponent, because obviously, me and Ryan, who's playing in Top Cut right now, we're like playing where you don't let them get the order, the one for Orphis, which spawns the token.
Did Logan go first?
Yes. Whenever you lose, you're forced to go first.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
I believe it's you say the die roll chooses.
He doesn't have counterblast, does he?
Logan, no.
No,
Or-
Edward.
No. I think he's hoping for triggers for the other guy to hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're seeing a crit. So we're hitting 2 damage.
And taking 2, losing a fan fleet and a critical, thank God. Giving power to the Vanguard, and then I believe this is going to be the last attack here, 10k guard.
He's
This
just
doesn't
swinging,
hit,
so
yep,
yep.
needs the 4th. So I think Logan is going for the idea that maybe, you know, he's going to need the counterblast to push for the turn. The only thing that he needs to figure out is how can he get Ed to use his hand.
So a thing to note as well is that Edward only has the Inlet Pulse and Soul. that is something that Logan's keeping in the back of his mind.
You thinking or you're telling?
I think that ultimately all of us have the same kind of mindset when it comes to decks like these.
Here we go, coming in with a fleet swing, not boosting because they're going to restand for a bigger attack later. And if he goes for the 3-card guard trick, I can see it. Another critical trigger, giving the 10k Vanguard.
What's good about this is that the Adamantus is still being able to make him guard. And I do believe he's just going to take a Vanguard swing.
Activating Counterblast, guard with 3. Choosing to take it, critical, all effects Vanguard, second check, PG.
So 2 damage.
So we are proceeding into 3 and 4.
So no Persona Ride, but we are going to see him decide on what he wants to do with Spirit Body. Okay. So interesting, we're playing the Adamantus here to get 5k. So it looks like we're only getting 4 attacks this turn, maybe.
Yeah, he is focusing the inlet. The inlet is so good. I can't with that card. This thing's title
You
assault.
can't with this card, but you played it.
I never used it for the restand skill.
Well, yeah, you can't in Magnolia.
I know. Well, like the whole restand thing is just so obnoxious. Like even if like you're running out of cards in deck, you can just have that and the other card, and then boom, 4 attacks without swinging.
So a thing to note is I think Edward doesn't have a soul for the restand. So this inlet is not going to soul at the end of turn.
Nah, that's the one downfall I tried into.
Because it's 5.
And here we go, coming with the PG. It's kind of interesting too that he's decided to stay at 3 instead of going to 4. I guess it did kind of benefit him now because Edward just pulled the heal trigger. So, you know, if Logan does pull a heal, it goes down to 2.
So here we are where Logan has Spirit Body and Inlet. What a classic combo. Okay, so we have
yes, a classic
prize, right?
symbol
Yeah.
of truth. Yeah, so you're going to be going in with the inlet swing as we've seen many times before for the first attack. The only deciding factor is if he is going to be going for the 4 attack or 5 attack. I think 5 attack is just a...
He's going to go with 5 attack. He does have the prize trident for the 5th swing.
Yep, and here we go. Coming in with the next attack, 23-31, restanding Fleet, and then having Fleet on standby.
This one's 23, I believe. 'Cause he did not Persona Ride this turn. he's going to pop the inlet and the prize trident. So going to deny a bunch of resources for Edward on the next turn.
Yep, and here we go. Edward is going to 5. Or is that 5 or 4?
It's 5. Yep. The one has a bunch of glare on it. So. So here we are where Edward's going to deny giving Logan any resources, and so that he can, and as I thought, he's going to give him no CB, so he's putting pressure on Logan to make something of this turn.
Yep, and here we go, coming into the inlet. Do we see Flea?
I don't think we're going to see Fleet because he can't. Yep, we're going to see the other guy.
It's the same thing, different name. Oh, and he can't intercept too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is a big thing.
Here we go, Soul Blessing 1, restaying the inlet. Following the rear guard to the other rear guard.
So we aren't going to go for the 5 play. Obviously, we can't because he has no CB. So it's a 2 to pass.
First check, second check Fleet. And I believe he's just going to go Vanguard.
Yeah, there's no reason to swing
30
anything
to 21.
else.
Hands expendable. Yep, and there we go. Overcharge the guard.
Yep, so we are going to see that over trigger is out of the deck now for Edward.
Yep, and it does look like Edward has Persona Ride. What's good for Logan is that he's at 3.
And he has a comfortable amount of hand.
15 cards left in deck.
The interesting part is what is Edward going to make of his turn. Obviously, he only has 1 Soul Blast to work with since he Persona Road.
Yes, he has the 1 soul for Enla. I don't even think the push works because you can just take it, but like the
push
Overtrigger's out, so like, and we were seeing 2 crits from the beginning of the turn.
So the push still works because obviously he can call Inlet right there where he just did, and he can call the Fleet if he has it. And so here we are. They're going to have a mirror board almost. And so here we are. He's going to deny. He's going to deny the play of swinging with the other guy. So this one is 20.
Yep, and there we go, getting the credit go, becoming a 23k base. Does he get the draw? He gets the draw.
We have swung 3 times, so we get a draw.
Yep. I wonder how many cards are left in Ed's deck.
I do think that he's drawn a little bit more than Logan has, despite Logan's hand. So we're going to OT to pass.
I like how they both got Fleet in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, does he take this one? It has a credit, he has guarded. And that's the heal.
Yep, that guards it.
Here we go.
So if you're thinking, if you're in Logan's head, he's at 4, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Logan?
Yep, Logan is at 4. In Logan's head, I think he's definitely wanting to push for the end game now.
Yeah, we're in the end game now.
Yep.
I'm gonna get all. He does need a trident though.
I don't even think he needs a trident. I don't think it's the 5 is worth going into.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna give the 5k to the fleet. So he's giving the order to the back row. So what this order does is every time that a unit swings, well, the unit that the order is on is going to get 5k.
I see why you didn't give it to the fleet, because the fleet wouldn't get its own 5K.
Yep. So this booster is going to be pretty hefty when it swings.
That's crazy.
So the best thing about this is that it counts the Vanguard. So it's going to get another 5, and he's not going to counterblast, so that the restand is going to be really big.
This is the best play I've seen of Blackbeard.
So also the best part about this is that on the swing of the fleet, it's going to also gain 5k because it's seeing the unit in front of it swing. So on boost, it's going to be 33k.
Yep. I don't know if they're timed. I don't think so.
No, we have the time right up there.
Yeah, we do have a timer just in case, but I don't believe they are timed.
One of the matches did end, so now we are... Oh, I think all of the matches have ended except for theirs, so...
Here we go again, the heal and the Blackbird.
And that's going to be game 2. So now we are here in game 3. Now they're going to roll off to see who gets to go first. Obviously, I think the biggest thing that swung the momentum in Logan's favor is that the one turn that Edward called an inlet post that he didn't have the soul to capitalize.
100%.
Admiring your own artwork over there.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, if you noticed I'm a little bit
Sidetracked.
sidetracked, it's because my phone's not working and the
For
providers are messaging me.
For everyone who was affected by Hurricane Ian, I hope that everything is going well. Not much damage has been done to your house or around your area.
But if your phone was damaged, you better call your provider.
Well, we know that a few people from Georgia weren't able to make it down because of Hurricane Ian. And, you know, we put your own personal safety over playing Vanguard.
What? What you talking about?
Put your own personal safety first. Do not risk yourself and getting injured to play in a tournament. What I like to say is, if you don't want to play because of safety, play for future. There's many events that you can play later on when there's not any weather advisories or anything like that.
Yeah, I think the way I've heard it is better to lose a minute of your life than lose your life in a minute.
Yeah. Especially if you're on a plane.
Wow.
Could you imagine having to fly here and then Hurricane Ian shuts down the airport?
guys live in Georgia. Just drive.
That's what Crow did.
Yep. But we are getting into the start of the match. It does look like Ed did take.
So I think Logan won the die roll and elected to go second. So we are going into Edward's grade 2 turn. He's thinking of what to pitch. He ultimately pitches the aggress blue, and he gets the spirit body back.
So it looks like we have gotten the results of the other 3 games right now. This is the last game left. It does look like David Senzikov did take his game. Gio Gerono did take his against Sylvie Ziers. Ryan Velasquez did take his game against Ryan M.
It was the battle of the best Ryan.
And then our final game still going on is Edward versus Logan, Flagberg versus Flagberg.
Interesting enough, we said at the beginning there was 2 Flagberg mirrors going. Oh, it's Gravidia again.
So after this game, anyone in chat, please make a choice. Would you like to see Gravidia versus Gravidia or Flagberg versus Flagberg?
So no matter what happens, we're gonna have a Gravidia Flagberg final.
Yes.
Flagberg is getting his revenge for not being in the show.
Gravidia is getting its revenge for not having any vision in Overdress.
Flagberg didn't even get to be in it, I don't think.
No, not at all. Edward is currently already at 2 damage. Logan is at 1. They have rest no moment into Raid taking damage. Honestly, this matchup just seems very blue.
The color blue is very apparent in this.
But yeah, we go straight into the matchup here. We see Inlet playing its role once again as the double attack on first swing.
Well, it's not him. He swung with the other card first because Inlet doesn't work unless your opponent's at a grade 3.
Did he try to check 3 times?
No.
Taking a game to heal trigger, healing 1 point, and staying at that 2-2 basis.
I think in a mirror match, it's always best to be close to your opponent's damage, no matter what, because obviously heals are going to be able to go off, but you get the sense of seeing what your opponent's doing and then getting the idea of what you're going to do to follow up.
Oh, yeah. But I kind of want to see what Logan does here. Coming to his first grade 3, right? He's going to have access to Inlet skill. And he has the 2 counterblast available, so he's going to be able to do a little bit more than expected. I don't know what the judge is talking about. I don't think there is a time in the round. Alright, here we go. Calling Inlet, using condensation, getting himself the
So here's Logan swinging with 18. There's a magic number, being able to hit over.
Hit over.
No, it's being able to hit over a normal guard, obviously. I think another thing that when you go against this match is limiting how much damage that Flagbird's supporting units are doing. And Edward's going to hit a heal here, so he's going to be going to 3. So we are going to go into Edward's next turn.
Yep. And here we go. Coming with Edward's start of turn, he's already being set to 4.
No, he's not. Oh, okay. Did he not? Did he not heal? Because Logan, they were both at 2. He took 2 damage, so he should be at 3.
So we were just clarifying to see if he was supposed to be at 3 damage. I was kind of looking back, and I think you went up to the judge. He already did heal. He was at 4, and then went back to 4.
Yeah. So Logan ended up, I guess, getting a crit in some way, which I wasn't paying attention. I guess in that sense that he went to 5 and then healed to 4.
Yep, and it does look like they're equaling out because he just went back to 3.
No, he's at 4 and they're at 4.
Oh. No worries.
The sleeves look deceiving.
Sleeves are deceiving.
So now he's at 5. And I think that we're seeing that Edward is now wanting to keep as much as he can for all of this guarding.
To be honest, I think this game's torture.
Oh, the mirror map?
Yeah. Not for us, for the people playing.
Again, I do think that mirror matches show off the skill of how well you know the matchup.
I understand, right? But I came to a conclusion after seeing this 3 times in a row, right? There are 3 different variations that Flagberg field goes. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that you have to decide which one of the 3 is right. So you're playing a more like 3D version of rock, paper, scissors. That's what it looks like.
And so he did PG this, obviously. Kind of has to. So Edward's answering back with a persona ride of his own.
Yep, and here we go. Coming in with Edward's turn. I do think that he only has 1 card left in him.
It's hard to see, but I do think so.
Yep, and
Yes, he does have only one card in hand, but he does
and
have the
Logan
full.
has a full hand, but is that going to be enough to guard the attack? Because he is going in with the perfect setup, the main setup, the go-to, the dos vidanias. Mother's lasagna.
I swear. A thing to note as well is that Logan does have a damage that he can take if he has to. Because I do think that if Logan plans to do a Flagberg turn, or if he thinks he can just win off of no damage, he can take one of these and then guard the rest.
I mean, he's going to win without a flag turn. The opponent's only going to have 3 cards in hand. As long as
No, he's going to have 4.
miss.
He's going to have the draw from Flagbird's effect, the Twin Drive, and then the inlet. So you never know what he could draw into.
And here we go, checking the drop. What does he have? What does he have set?
So we do see
And
him
there we
taking
go,
it.
getting a critical, giving 10k to Vanguard.
Snaps.
Coming in for the 23k swing, guard with 3. And he chooses to retire. Oh, no, it's not a choice.
I was like, damn, if it was a choice. So now we are saying that it is OT to pass.
And there we go, getting a critical and a grade 3, I believe.
Yes. Grade 3 and a crit.
So 3 useful targets in hand. Unless he gets a PG. And
Here we are,
go.
we're stacking the Aglio so that it goes 5-5 across. And Logan wisely did take a damage so he can capitalize on the extra restand swing.
One issue up, and there we go, getting the flag. Oh, getting a fist bump, not a handshake.
Fist bump. About just as.
Overall, just I think that was a really good game. It could have gone either way. It was, like I said before, very rock paper scissors. And you can tell me your thought on that, because it just felt like whoever did the one play better the following turn and minimized or maximized on the inlets pretty much had a more excessive time during that match.
I think it also is just like going into this matchup, you constantly have to watch how much resources that your opponent still has. And I think game 2 was definitely like a show of Edward calling the inlet pulse with having no soul to be able to capitalize, or being able to wait to get 4 attacks in general.
Yeah.
Game 2 was obviously, that was the shift of momentum. And I think game 3 was more of them like, okay, well now we need to kind of be aggressive in this moment.
Oh, yeah.
And because we saw that Logan put him to 2, and Logan was at 1. And then they kind of evened out in damage. Obviously, drive checks, luck, getting crits and all that in your drive checks do help with breaking the guard or increasing the damage in general. But the resource management in the mirror matches, I think, is how you win it.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, we are going to be finishing up with top 8, proceeding into top 4, starting right away. We didn't get any messages in chat, so we are just going to go in with the Gravidia match for the top table. Maybe a little bit of a break from
It's going to be kind of like what our locals kind of was like for a while when Gravidia first was growing popular. We had Gravidia mirror after Gravidia mirror after Gravidia mirror. So we're going to kind of we're used to seeing it. Maybe you guys aren't. We'll see something fresh than just Flagberg.
Yep. So we are going to be on break for less than a few minutes and going straight into top 4. So see you soon.